What up, internet sluts? Today's a very special day for me. So I haven't posted in a few days, and I don't know. I've been doing some soul searching, some trying to figure out what this is and what this is about, and just super unmotivated by it. The format just felt so rigid. I was very limited in my creative capacity to do things just sitting in my car. So, and I don't want to just give up on it. So I want to evolve on it, and I want to build off of it. I want to make this a real vlog. So today I'm actually getting out of my car and joining the real vlogging world. So here it goes. So I wanted to expand on that a little bit, and I think that what I was doing, the format that I was using, driving in my car, was creatively very limiting in the sense that I was forcing all of my creativity into a 10 to 15 minute period, sitting in my car during the morning on my commute to work. So creativity has to come to you. You can't try and bottle it. When an idea comes to you, you have to take advantage of it right then and there. And I mean, that's exactly what I did just now. I was sitting at my desk, and this came to me, and I wanted to expand on it. And if I had said, okay, cool, that's like, I'll do that later, it wouldn't have really come out, and it wouldn't have been as compelling. And I think that when creativity comes to you, you need to act on it in that moment. Otherwise, that you lose it, it's feeble. It'll slip through your hands. So you need to be able to take advantage of that, and that's really why I want to expand outside of just kind of forcing myself to doing it in the car, and actually make this a real blog. And I haven't posted in a few days, and I think that's because I got frustrated because of that notion that it wasn't what I wanted it to be. It wasn't as creative as I needed it to be. And I look at my life, just my personality. I'm a very project-based person, and that's just kind of the way that I define myself. And I'm always looking for the next new thing. I'm constantly starting over. I'm constantly trying new things, and that's the way it's always been throughout my life. And it's kind of been, I don't want to say a bad thing, because I've definitely used it to my advantage, but I want to use that as more of a positive quality than a negative quality, and I want to use it to my advantage. And that's something that's always the way that I'm going to be. So I shouldn't try and fight it. I shouldn't try and change who I am. I should embrace it, and I should use that to my advantage, and use that to enable me. And I think that because of that lifestyle, because I've always had this mentality that I consider myself a habitual quitter. I'm constantly trying new things, starting new things, and they only make it so far, and then I give up on them. And and I didn't want to do that here, and I didn't want to just give up on this car blog. So I wanted to evolve it and turn it into a real blog. So I'm not starting over. I'm not starting from scratch. I'm going to leave those first couple episodes the way that they are, because I think that there is value in that, and I think that it's a reminder, of my humble beginnings, somewhere down the future when I look back on this. So I think that that's how I'm going to use this to my advantage, is by not quitting, but by evolving things. And because all of those projects that I've had, all the times that I've started new things, they're all within the same category, and I always circle back on them. So rather than just stopping and starting and stopping and starting, I need to take what I have and really expand on it. So the three most important things to me right now are my work, my job where I am right now. I work as a marketing consultant. a 9 to 5, the typical grind. And that's my moneymaker. That's where all my income comes from. So obviously, it's the highest up in the, it's the most important thing, because you need income to survive. So, and then the next is my personal brand, and I think that for a long time I would always try and put myself into projects, and it wasn't until about a year ago where I decided that I need to pull all of that back in, and I needed to be consistent. I was still learning, I was still growing from doing all those things, but by stopping and starting, I wasn't creating any value for myself because I had to start from scratch every single time. So over the past year, really being focused on my personal brand and putting everything back into myself is something that I can continue to build off of, that I can continue to grow from. And yes, I might try new things, but as long as I'm always tying it back to myself, I'm not starting over again. And I think that that's the most important part of that. So that's really where the opportunity comes from, is by growing my personal brand. So between the my work, where I actually get my income and I'm able to survive, and working on my personal brand, and being able to create opportunity for myself, that's really where I've been able to do things like launch Smoke and Pepper. And that is kind of the third leg right now in my life. It's where I'm channeling my creativity, and I'm using that as an opportunity to be able to push myself to the next level. And I think that is what I've always been fighting for, is creative freedom. And that's why I've always been so gung-ho on entrepreneurship, and why I think it's the most important thing to me, is because I know that I like to do things differently from day to day. So I certainly do like structure. I like having routines, and I think that that's extremely important, and I think it keeps me honest and it keeps me motivated. But I like to be able to switch on a whim if I need to, if something just feels right, to be able to go with it, and not working in a 9 to 5 just holds me back from that. And that's ultimately where I'm trying to go. And this is, I've said it before, but this whole vlog is the process of that. It's my journey. It's me getting there. And then once I get there, beyond, what's the next step? And it's always progressing. What's next? How can I be better? How can I improve? So I mean, that's realistically what I'm fighting for, and those are my 3 core pillars that are what drive me, and what will make me successful. So I think that that's why I really needed to leave the car blog behind and turn this into a full vlog. So it's absolutely new to me. It's it's interesting. It's a journey, and I'm learning, and I understand that it's not going to be good at first, and that there's always room for improvement. But I think that you just need to start, and I think that you need to have something to build off of, because if you never get started, if you always say, well, you're waiting for it to get better, it never gets better if you never start. So that's what this is about.